England, what is going on? My name is Tom and you guys are watching the extended part of the vlog. I have enjoyed my final drive out of work at 24 years of age. What that means is tomorrow when I'm driving into work, I'll be going in for the very first time at number 24. Sorry. Scratch that. Number 25. We'll be going in tomorrow at number 25. We've just said goodbye to number 24 and we'll be driving into there as number 25, which is insane to think about. But I am very excited to welcome in the brand new 25 version of myself, Tom number 25. I'm very excited. Tom 24 has dealt with a lot of important life changes. I've had my car for a second year now, so I've now been driving for 2 years. I've seen a lot of the country, of the UK. I've been enjoying the country for the last couple of years because I haven't been away abroad because I've been saving money for my house. Speaking of house, I acquired the house and I put my deposit in and everything like that. It's all going through, it's all going well. We've got our completion date in January and our quality, I get the words muddled up sometimes, the survey in January as well, and then our completion date will be given to us in January also. So Tom 24 has done a lot of groundwork for then the passing of the torch to Tom 25, which I like looking at myself like that, because basically, like we talked about a lot more detail yesterday's vlog, towards that big end bit where we just kind of had a big monologue at the camera. But yeah, just in short and sweet of that, I was a kid who at 13 years of age didn't really see much point in the future, and I was a very low kid. I had a lot of low expectations of myself. I had a lot of low self-worth and a lot of disbelief that I could ever amount to do anything successful or practical or whatever. I found like life was going to just always be quite challenging for me, and I didn't give myself really any opportunity to do anything of value. And then I got to being 16 and that was probably the lowest I'd ever felt, and I had this geography trip coming up and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go on it. It's going to be a little farewell tour. I'm going to go on it, and then what'll be will be. Sirrah, sirrah. What will be will be. And I went on that trip, and the most unsuspecting thing happened. I met a girl who basically got me from feeling like I was the lowest person in the world and didn't want to see tomorrow, didn't have any interest in what the future looked like. I basically found a girl that made me see the future, my future, with her. And it made me feel like there was more to life than what I'd believed. And even though I was so adamant that for me personally at 16 years of age my life was over, it was in the bin, I didn't want to do any more, I didn't feel like I had any more to give, I didn't feel like I had any more to do, and I was basically writing myself off before I'd even had a chance to start properly. I felt like I was done. I felt like I was finished, and I'm so glad that the universe decided to throw me a curveball and give me the partner that it did, because without her presence, without her being there, I don't believe for 1 second that I'd have made it this far. So for me, being someone who used to be scared about birthdays and the whole idea of aging was irrelevant to me, I didn't really care about it, it was all a big song and dance for nothing. You're another year closer to death anyway, what's the point? You might as well, put yourself to rest now, because it's worse feeling all that pain of getting older and deteriorating a little bit. And I felt like I deteriorated massively, to the point where I felt like I was at rock bottom before I was even, like I'm saying to you, not even a proper teenager. I was 16 and I felt like my life was finished. And that's because I wrote myself off. Completely wrote myself off and didn't give myself the opportunity or the chance to even try and make a go of it properly. And Helen, my partner, found me at that stage by pure coincidence, by pure chance, and she made me start to slowly believe that life was better just around that corner, just on that horizon. And if you stick around long enough and hold by your time, be patient enough, that maybe, just maybe, some good could come of it, and maybe in the end we could be all right. And it was just by chance. It was literally by pure coincidence, the right person at the right time in my life. And I didn't think I ever was going to do that. I never could have imagined for 1 second, after having such a terrible track record in the past with problems and issues. And like I say, the biggest upset for me is that ultimately my mum and dad had nothing to do with it. It was nothing to do with my mum and dad being cruel, or anyone in my immediate family putting me at any sort of risk or anything like that. It was all me. It was all up here. And I think that's the scariest part to talk about mental health. It's been difficult to talk about mental health with my mum and dad because their generation is different. They're not of the generation that understands mental health in the same kind of way. But for me, I just had ripped myself off. I just not given myself the opportunity to give it a good go. And I was giving up on myself and my future and whatever could have been. And the problem with that is when you write yourself off in your own head, there's absolutely nothing that realistically can pull you back from that, because you've given up on yourself. And when you've given up on yourself, there's actually no more work that could be done to, restore how you feel or make yourself feel any better. So it was a worry. It was a big worry. And like I was dead set in my head. I was dead set on the fact that I knew that I was comfortable in the knowledge that I wanted to use my excuse of going on my GCSE geography trip to the beautiful country of Iceland as my sort of farewell tour, and I was happy to do that. And Helen met me, and she completely changed my mind. I had planned the letters of goodbyes that I wanted to make for my family and my friends at the time, and Helen made me rip them up. Without even knowing it, she made me rip them up, because a simple text message like, I can't wait to see you in school tomorrow, or I can't wait to see you again tomorrow, or what are you up to now, what are you up to later, have you got any plans, things like that just kept me ticking over. And then I've closed my eyes, and in the blink of an eye I've gone from 16 to 25 tomorrow. And I never thought I'd make it to 25. I never in a million years gave myself the oomph that I would even make it this far, because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to. And it was a battle with myself constantly. And I've not beaten that battle. I still have dips and I still have lows and struggles and stuff, and that has happened a lot on and off, but I'm more prepared to fight it now because I have a team around me of friends who are like family. They're more than friends. I don't think the title of friend is worthy enough for them. I've got great connections with people in person who I see, people who I catch up with every now and then when we can do it, and even some people who I'm really super close to who I've never even met in person. But we've spoken for hours and hours and hours, months and years on the internet, and played games together and stuff. So I've got a little bit of something from everywhere, and everybody's fantastic. And I've got such a good core of people around me right now. And Helen makes me stronger every day. So I'm happy, which is something I never thought I'd say. I'm happy to turn 25 tomorrow, because these last couple of years have been hard. They have been tough. The 3 years at uni were phenomenal, but these last 4 years have been solid. And we're slowly getting closer and closer to that reward, that light at the end of the tunnel, to be a cliche. But I'm so happy that I stuck around long enough, and I worked on myself, and I worked on improvements, and I worked with people. And I love Andy's Man Club, because they are a phenomenal organisation who make these awesome bits of merchandise, and they are fantastic. And if you are a fella in the UK who needs some support, Google Andy's Man Club. They're great. Go with your dad, go with your brothers, go with your friends, go alone, make friends there. It's ultimately up to you. but you have to give yourself the chance, because if you don't and you write yourself off, you're only hurting yourself at the end of the day, and you're not giving yourself that opportunity. So give yourself the opportunity, because life comes at you pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might just miss it. So thank you. That's the last message I want to give you. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been highs and lows and in-betweens, but we've made it. We've got another year of borrowed time, and I'm happy to borrow it, and I want to borrow it, and I want to use it to my fullest. So 25, number 25, Tom, has got a lot to deal with. He's got a lot of important jobs to do, and I'm sure he can do them, because he's a big enough and strong enough person now to take the torch from number 24 here and pass it on and run with it. So yeah, much love to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my birthday vlog tomorrow. Peace.